Formula One has left the European circuit and now starts the Asia runs. Welcome back to the Singapore Grand Prix. Not many races remain on the calendar then in the Singapore Grand Prix this weekend before we head over to Japan in 7 days' time. Qatar takes us into October, along with a sprint race both there and at the United States Grand Prix in Austin, Texas. October rounds out with the Mexico Grand Prix before we go to Brazil, Las Vegas, and then the season rounds out in Abu Dhabi. Can't crown it here, but can do it in Japan. Max Verstappen is on the verge of his third world title. Sergio Perez in second on 219 points. Both of them, however, could wrap up the Constructors' Championship. More on that later. Fernando Alonso is ahead of Lewis Hamilton from Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. George Russell ahead of Lando Norris. And then we get Lance Stroll, Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon in 11th. On the second page, Oscar Piastri with 12th, and then it's Alexander Albon ahead of Hülkenberg, Bottas, Zhou Guanyu's just re-signed for another year with Alfa Romeo, then ahead of Tsunoda and Magnussen, the last points pairers. Further down, Sargent, Lawson, De Vries and Ricciardo, still no points. De Vries no longer in the championship, Ricciardo out with a broken hand. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull lead the way and could wrap up the championship this weekend. More on that later. Mercedes on 273 points, Ferrari 228. The fight is on for second. Then it's Aston Martin ahead of McLaren, who've moved back ahead of Alpine. Williams now 10 clear of Haas, who are a point clear of Alfa Romeo. AlphaTauri still on 3. Let's take a look around this Singapore street circuit in Marina Bay. Modified for the third time in its career, this latest version is faster than ever. Get a good exit out of the last corner and boot towards the line. Down towards turn 1 then, very heavy on the braking zone as well. Braking around about 60 metres, flick the car into the left, a right and then another tight left. It's a sort of a straight line you've got to navigate with some corners. Good exit which gives you a run down towards the Kinkert turn 4 that leads you down Raffles Boulevard and the first of the DRS zones. Open it up and control the exit. Try and keep as close to the wall as you possibly can, but keep a complete straight line to the hard braking zone of turn number 6. Flip the car up as well on the curb. 7 and 8 now coming up against you as well as the track incredibly tightens up. The narrowness of it gets really tight. Just come through turn 9. Out now towards turn 10. The old Singapore sling past the hotel as well on the right-hand side. Flip the car in as you now approach into the Anderson Bridge. Used to go over the left side, now we go over the right side as you hurtle down the brakes in towards turn number 12. New section of the track coming up then as well. No longer do we go underneath the famous part where Nelson Piquet crashed in 2008. Now it's a straight line coming out of turn number 14. Hurtle it down, not a DRS zone, but there's where you used to turn off. Now it's a straight run down. Should be very easy to overtake, but it comes up with a very heavy braking zone into the original chicane. Down at now 18 and 19. It's going to be very interesting to see how this part of the track shapes up. Last 2 corners, flick the car through, accelerate to the line. It's around 10 seconds faster than the new Marina Bay circuit. Hello everybody, and welcome to qualifying coverage for the 2023 Singapore Grand Prix here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit. This fantastic circuit celebrating 15 years of night racing in Formula One. It all kicked off here in 2008. That may be under Hot Topic, but what is under even more Hot Topic is the fact that for the first time this season, Red Bull genuinely look like they are off the pace. Struggling with rear-end grip and clutch problems on Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez's car has put Ferrari on top across all of the practice sessions. FP1 was Charles Leclerc ahead of Sainz, FP2 was Sainz and FP3 as well. Alongside me in the commentary box is Jess, and returning from the dead is Josh T. Where on earth have you been, Josh? Hello.
Hello. I kind of got lost in the back rooms.
Well, we're glad to have you back.
I have found myself out from the back rooms and I have returned.
Glad to have you back. And Jess, coming into qualifying, we've got about 20 seconds. It's going to be a very interesting one. You're saying Sainz for pole, but can Red Bull fight back?
I think hopefully Red Bull maybe have improved a little bit of their setup, so they may not get pole, but I think one of them will start just behind Sainz, in my opinion.
Qualifying here is always dramatic. There's always something that goes wrong. We've had an unpredictable weekend so far with nobody crashing. Qualifying, though, is where we get key. Stand by for all of the action from the Singapore Grand Prix qualifying in the company of myself, Jess and Josh, with Omi down in the pits. Here it comes then, qualifying for Singapore. Moonlight and love songs is what it's always about. Singapore always brings out the best in Formula One, and qualifying under the lights is a spectacle like no other. It's fast, it's abrasive. Touch the barrier here, you are in for 2 hours of pain tomorrow. Yes, you can overtake at this circuit, but it is a challenge. And it's also the toughest in terms of humidity, temperature inside the cockpit exceeding over 60 degrees. It's the first of the flyaway races in 2023 to round out the season. It's a 4.940 kilometre circuit, that's 3.070 miles, 3 DRS zones, one on the road to turn 1, one down Raffles Boulevard towards turn 7, and one down towards turn 14 in the braking zone as well. We used to go through the marina section, that's been elongated now to a straight as well, while building work goes on around the city. So a 10-second a lap faster track, which means it's going to be a really fast qualifying. Fastest tyres available as well. Soft C5, red, yellow, medium C4, white, hard C3 tyre compounds as well. Expect them though to be using the mediums and the softs across qualifying. It's not one of those weekends where we have to aggregate it going all the time across it. Track temperature 34 degrees, 93 Fahrenheit, humidity at 77%. Air temperature 29 degrees Celsius, 84 Fahrenheit as well here in Singapore, and it should be a very interesting session. The night has fallen here, the moonlight reflecting, but we don't really need that much because it is all about the lights that are projected onto the circuit as well. It's brighter than a sunnier day at Silverstone, Martin Brundle said yesterday, and I think Jess as well. There's nothing where we'd rather be at. There's nothing better than Singapore night racing. It was the first, and it's always been, in my opinion, the best. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon. I have to say, I agree. It always brings some good action, sometimes some chaos as well. But, yeah, a track where it can be the unknown sometimes on who's going to do well. It's very enduring for the drivers as well, in terms of obviously the heat and obviously the turn-ins as well. But with the removal of that chicane into the boulevard, I like it. I prefer it, and I'm sure other people might prefer it too. The drivers prefer it anyway.
Yeah, they've been saying that they want it to remain even after 2027 when we're due to go back. The session underway in around about 1 minute 45. Ferrari getting ready to go down, and Josh T joining us for the first time this weekend back in the box as well. Ferrari are the team to beat, and it's not often we've said that. Red Bull generally off the pace, but can Ferrari do it, or are they going to bottle it?
Well, we'll have to find out. I think they can do it, but it depends if Nico Rosberg does his stuff and we see
Curses the right people.
Yes, curses the right people, and Matt Gallagher doesn't get too excited about
Okay, so people are waiting
Ferrari
already.
this
Don't want to
weekend.
get dropped back too far with this traffic.
Sergio Perez there on the radio being told that there are a few people waiting already at the bottom. That's their new feature that we've brought back. It's actually working now. We've missed it since Japan last year, but we've got it back, and we'll be able to hear the team radio throughout the broadcast as well. There's James Vowles, the team principal at Williams, down there. We're away soon. Ted to the pits.
In the pit lane. This is like they've all realised that they need to make it to the pub or the restaurant by 10 past 9 p.m. because the kitchen's about to close and they need to get their order in. They're all queued up, everyone. Well, nearly everybody. We've got Ferraris, we've got Red Bulls, we've got Alfa Romeo Saubers, we've got Williams, we've got all sorts. So they clearly want to get on with it. As for those who are going to get on with it and got quite a job to do, are, well, the Williams, Alex Albon, Logan Sargent, Zhou Guanyu, Valtteri Bottas. So they were the bottom four in free practice 3. Liam Lawson, Pierre Gasly hasn't been going too well in the Alpine. So watch out for them as to them trying to get their way out of Q1. Have we got a green light yet? Yeah.
We do. And it is green lights, and away we go for qualifying here at the Singapore Grand Prix. Cars will head down the track. Hülkenberg, Magnussen, Bottas, Zhou, Sargent, all going out there on soft tyres. So it looks like it's going to be a soft tyre run throughout the weekend in this session. That's going to be very interesting to see. And we should get, Jess, quite a calm opener to this session. But it is, strange enough, it's the busiest of the year, isn't it, this one? Because it's always congested. Even though it's one of the biggest tracks and the longest runs we get, everybody wants the same part of the track and they always lift off. It's going to get quite difficult to get a clean lap in here.
Yeah, and it's one of the longest laps, so if you don't get your lap in and if there's any red flags and you may be on the flyer, then you could be in a lot of trouble. So not surprised, really, to see some people out again on their opening laps right now as well. But yeah, interesting to see what these drivers can do. And I'm very excited to see the new Williams livery once again in the lights. It looks really nice. Designed by, I think, one of the fans for the Golf livery. And on cue, it's on the circuit right now.
Yep.
Verstappen
Go on.
was stopped in the fast lane momentarily, and I think there was a couple cars behind him waiting. Don't know if they had a small problem, but yeah, you're not meant to stop in the fast lane as soon as the car in front goes, and all I can see is phones with red bars with a timer and a stopwatch up in the park. Yeah, as you said, yes. Beautiful,
Josh T.
beautiful Williams livery.
So we're hearing some radio coming through, so it's not that loud just yet to come through as they circulate down on the track. Let's hear from Martin Bond and David Croft.
He's comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think this could be an uncomfortable session, and we'll see how Max gets on. Is it about regulation changes? Is it just this circuit layout? We'll find out next week in Suzuka if normal service is resumed by Red Bull. But for now, they've got to get through this Grand Prix.
Yep, and I agree with Martin there as well. As I just looked at it again, Josh T, you were right. They did stop in the fast lane for Verstappen. And Verstappen has, they've changed the rear suspension on the car in terms of the sort of beams that keep their wheel together, the suspension arcs, the toe links, they've changed those and stiffened them a bit to try and control the rear sliding. They've changed the brake discs on the rear of the Red Bull. And one thing I found out quite interesting they've done as well is that they've adjusted the clutch. Now, Jess, you were in practice 3, and I said at the end of it how the clutch sounded like it was slipping a lot at the start. And it was because...
Yeah, the start didn't look that good, did it?
And they've adjusted it, so hopefully it's working. We're on board right now with Sergio Perez, as he comes down Raffles Boulevard, I believe. Oh no, is there one for Lando Norris actually?
No, it's
yeah,
Lando Norris.
Yeah. The on-board look quite similar there to the Red Bull with the front, with that new black livery. It's hard to tell.
It does help, Josh, that it's got Norris on the left-hand side.
Yeah,
Most of that.
might help. I should realise, but I didn't realise. I didn't look down at the bottom of the screen. Sargent's got up with a 1:35.090 to come through. But let's have a look then. Verstappen's first sector time is a 27.3. He is. Are you ready for this? He is 1.26 slower than Lando Norris in that first sector. That's 0.126 slower than Norris. That is a big gap for Red Bull to have. Perez is even worse at the moment. Perez's first sector was a 27.256, so he's 4 thousandths of a second slower than Max Verstappen in that first sector. But now they're picking it up in the middle sector as well. Perez quicker than Norris as they come out the last two corners. Is it going to be anywhere near the Delta time? It's 1:32.556 for Lando Norris on the soft tyre. 7 thousandths is the gap at the moment in the middle sector. Remember, between Verstappen and Perez as they come across the line. What's the gap now between Perez and Norris? Well, for once again this season, it's 007. 007, 7 thousandths between Norris and Perez at the moment. And that is the third time this year in qualifying one that we've had a 007. Here comes Max Verstappen. He only goes third fastest, 1:32.862. So a really problematic session so far for the Red Bulls. Here comes Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. Sainz does a 1:32.965. That puts him behind Verstappen. Charles Leclerc with an okay sector 1 and 2. He's hooked it up in the final sector, the mini sectors, and it's a 1:32.523. 33 thousandths faster than Lando Norris. The top four separated by 40 thousandths of a second as Piastri goes fifth. Wow!
I have to say, things are opening up with Charles Leclerc, at least in this qualifying session so far as well. And I was riding on board with him on the app, and he looked very planted on the track compared to the other drivers as well. He looked very, very confident.
Russell coming.
Yeah,
Go on, Joshy.
I know it's been a very long while since the 24 Hours of Le Mans, but Antonio Giovinazzi is here. But how good does that look? 2023 24 Hour of Le Mans winner.
Fun fact
For Gio.
fun fact that I've actually nicked off Crofty this time around, not the other way around, but Max Verstappen has led 3 laps here at the Singapore Grand Prix. We found that out yesterday. He led laps 15, 16, 17 in 2018's Grand Prix. But Antonio Giovinazzi has led more laps here at Singapore than Max Verstappen has. Giovinazzi has led 4 laps around this track in 2019's Grand Prix. 4. So it's an extra lap, but Giovinazzi has led more laps here at this track than Max Verstappen. And that's weird to say. This is Max's bogey track. Is that Omi? Hello, Omi.
Hello. Also, can I just say, Coffee nicked it off Will Buxton, because Will Buxton was the first one to say it in the media as well.
Excellent.
Crofty always likes to nick stuff. And by the way, Josh, Russell, purple first sector.
Oh, it is. It's a 27.135 for Russell. So he's finding the delta. Oh, did he touch the wall coming out turn 13?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I thought he did.
He
yeah.
lost a bit of time there.
And it's cost him now 29 thousandths of a second. Only Leclerc ahead of Charles Leclerc as he's got Sainz ahead of him. He's just passed Leclerc behind him on the way down towards turn 14. Now on the new run towards the braking zone, the kink at 15. Onto the brakes at 16 and 17 through the chicane. It's a right, then a left, then it's 2 lefts to complete the lap at 18 and 19. Then it's a short run out towards the line. Newly resurfaced start line here as well at Singapore. Should add a bit more grip, and he's out by 45 thousandths. Brilliant. So 1:32.478 for Russell. So the top 4 separated by 85 thousandths of a second. Hamilton's gone 5th, and he's done that time on a 1:32.651. Mighty good start to the session, and once again it's really bad for Perez and Verstappen. So we have an open goal here between Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren and Red Bull. Lance Stroll.
What's going on with the engine?
It's a fault mic, I think.
Completely impeded me, just right in front of me.
Yeah, copy Lance. Yeah, we saw he impeded you, he parked there.
So Stroll's been impeded as a Fonmac microphone decides it wants to become a rapper.
That's
for
one of the
something.
Mercedes. I think that was Russell.
Yeah, I think it is too, looking at the Delta tracker where they are. Because I think Stroll's backed off a little bit as well on the driver tracker, trying to see where they were on the TV graphics. It's quite difficult to see. Sainz as they come through, but Russell still fastest hit. So here's the elimination zone, and at the moment, oh, and Ocon scraping the wall.
Completely impeded me, just right in front of me.
Yeah, copy Lance.
Yeah,
Yeah, we saw he impeded you part there.
Yeah, that was Stroll's radio once again coming through on the T feed. As we see Ocon now, he's in the drop zone as well. Tsunoda, Alonso, Albon and Gasly have not done lap times yet. They're the only ones not to. Waiting for the traffic to get out of the way as they come down past the hotel in towards the Singapore Sling as well. The Raffles Hotel pass now on to the Anderson Bridge, a 118-year-old bridge as they fly in towards turn 13, flick it round with a very tight left-hander, losing the wheel a little bit. Esteban Ocon didn't touch the wall there though, like we saw with George Russell. Down towards turn 14 from 5th gear all the way back down to 3rd gear, flick the car into the right, control the exit speed, let the car drift up towards the wall, sort of use it as a way through, and now you've got a long straight down towards the braking zone, and Stroll's right in the middle of the track, and the braking zone shouldn't affect him too much. It doesn't. Don't know what they're doing. Look at all this traffic. There's Perez getting out of the way.
Keep that delta negative. Oh, well, cars in front of me, mate.
Russell.
Yeah, just where you can. Yeah, I got it.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lots of radios.
that,
defending his position.
Russell's radio coming through. Ocon's gone 8th. Albon goes across the line, 13th place. Tsunoda is going to come across the line soon. So is Hulkenberg, but Albon only through just. It's Sargent ahead of Albon. That's the first time this year. Tsunoda goes up to 9th. Bottas, Stroll, Zhou in the drop zone at the moment. Alonso 2, Gasly in there too. Hulkenberg goes up to 11th. That pushes Albon at the brink as well. Gasly's down on 10th to Bottas as they come into it. But that was Russell being told on the radio, just keep the delta negative, which is keep it below the minimum time. But Race Control haven't given it the minimum time, so there is a lot of traffic. Go on.
It wasn't Russell that was impeding Stroll, it was Sargent.
That could be crucial then, because Sargent's up into 13th
So yeah,
place.
because it's noted according to Race Control.
Gasly, purple sector 3.
Wow, that Alpine picked up a lot of pace. It's a 132.654. Alonso goes 5th, 132.584. So it's all changed. Everyone's done lap times. Norris is 0.005 of a second off the pace of Russell. That McLaren has pace. He's right up there. Here comes Verstappen. And it was there any doubt? Max Verstappen is fastest. 132.398, 80,000th of a second faster
Lawson
than George
9th.
Russell. Wow, Lawson through to qualifying number 2.
At the moment, Josh,
he's
at the moment.
He was eliminated in Q1 last time while in the Dutch Grand Prix, got through to Q2 at Monza. Can he get through to Q3 later on today? But look at Sainz disputing the facts that Red Bull are back up there. It is fastest for Sainz, but Leclerc is faster in the first sector, and he goes 3rd. Look at the times between the top 5. They're all separated by less than 1.5 tenths of a second.
Incredible.
Possible touch wall on the exit of turn 14.
Ah. This is getting interesting, Justy.
Yeah, absolutely incredible qualifying, and I'm glad I came out the back rooms for this one. Hamilton and Gasly separated by 0.003 of a second.
Jess, what are you making of this session?
Crazy, in a good way. We don't know, we literally don't know for the first time who's going to get pole.
Let's hear.
Touch the one on the left side. Touch the one on.
There you go. We heard it, but there, touched the wall. Ocon touched it, and yeah.
Just like the graphic we saw in FP2, was it?
Wasn't it Ocon again yesterday?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was at exactly the same place as well.
Watch it, Ocon.
So I've generally got no idea.
Verstappen's pitted right behind Norris,
Yeah,
and
it will
turn
be
8
investigated
incident.
after the session. Sargent and Stroll impeding. So Sargent apparently impeded Stroll.
Right, so all hell is breaking loose, as we thought it would, to come through.
So basically after qualifying.
Yeah, as far as I can tell. This is getting weird. Just to get receiving some information that they want to go through and take, they want a penalty. It's now under investigation after the session, but Sargent might be in trouble here. Also, just been told it's 20 years ago today since The Simpsons Hit and Run was released. So just a little thing for you there.
I love that game.
Me too. Did I ever send you the I need to send you the PDF, don't I, to download it all the links. I'll send you it.
I've played it I played it from start to finish a million times.
Same here.
Well,
not Simpsons Hit and Run.
Oh yeah, I need that.
I'll send it. I'll put it in the group chat later. Right, Ted.
To find half a second to be sure of getting out of Q1. The same for the likes of Lance Stroll, Nico Hülkenberg, Kevin Magnussen, all in the danger zone. But what do we think as I see Sergio Perez pass me in the pit lane with a new set of soft tyres? What do we think the Mercedes are going to do, given that they are one set of softs down? I would imagine as they're coming towards me now, that's a scrubbed set. I think that's the same set. That's very difficult for me to tell. Both Mercedes have just passed me in the pit lane. They don't seem to have the sheen on them that a new set has. I think that's a scrubbed set on both Hamilton and Russell.
Expected cutoff is a 32.5, and we expect 0.6 track improvement, so we're right there.
Well, that's the problem, is
That's Hülkenberg. So that was Hülkenberg's radio. My goodness me, is this race turning entertaining. This is not even the race yet. This is qualifying. This is qualifying, and the most dramatic qualifying we are going to see in a very long time. If anybody's got any ideas of what we're going to see here, let me know. I do not. I expect drama. What about you, Josh T?
Coming our way with 2 minutes.
Is that radio?
We can hear ourselves.
I think there was some radio coming through. You all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some radio.
There's still...
Albon is blocking Zhou at turn 13. So, are they on a lap? I'm not entirely no. I think everybody's just coming out on an out lap. Omi.
Yeah, Russell also reporting that Verstappen randomly stopped as well, so he was assuming that he had a bit of an issue in the pit lane. So, yeah, Verstappen really stopping a tiny bit, isn't he, today?
It's getting chaotic here. We don't even know what's happening. So there's Albon's qualifying. 8th at Silverstone, 16th at Hungary, 12th at Belgium, 4th at the Netherlands, and 6th at Monza. So he's made it through in to Q2 before. 2 minutes to go then in the first part of qualifying for this dramatic Grand Prix of Singapore. In the drop zone, it's Stroll, Sargent, Albon,
just stopped in the pit lane.
Bottas and
Do you
Zhou.
have a problem? Not sure. Okay, can I overtake him? He looks like he has a problem. He's moving again now.
Was that the message you heard, Omi, earlier from Russell?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. But right now, traffic seems a big issue. Everyone trying to make some overtakes, and teams really on the radio telling drivers to make overtakes as well.
There's a lot coming through as well. Look at that, Hülkenberg, Ocon, and it's got Perez, Gasly, Lawson, Verstappen, Sainz, Pet. They're all in there, in the mix, and they're all just getting up there. Albon's moving up in the first Delta time. Zhou's down, and he's in 20th. So Alfa Romeo not looking to have a great weekend on the weekend when they're supposed to progress forward. As Sauber next year, and they announced their running orders for next year being Bottas and Zhou. Seems like they're having interference with the onboard cameras this weekend. There's a lot of juddering. Sainz radio.
A lot of loudness.
Everyone's racing. Understood.
I don't know what that said. I couldn't understand it.
Everyone's racing. Understood.
Everyone's racing. Okay, that was it. I heard it better on the second time around. Albon is up in the second sector as well. 30 seconds to go in qualifying number 1. Albon is having a Sargent, only goes 16th, 133.252. He'll get another lap soon, and there's a lot of traffic in the last sector. Albon might just avoid it, he does, but he has to take a wider line. There's a lot of traffic, and that was Alonso, Verstappen, and Sainz. Verstappen radio.
there's so many cars.
There's so much traffic out there, and did Albon improve? Yes, to 10th.
There's so many cars.
Joe only goes into 19th place. Sonoda's got the middle sector looking good. The checkered flag is out. The session is over. But there is so much drama. Look at Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg really improving on the timing screens in the first sector. 27.04. And Sonoda is 3 times faster. 131.991.
Oh, sorry.
The track's improving massively. Here comes Magnussen. Magnussen second. This is insane. Everyone's getting faster lap times in.
Lawson!
Hulkenberg! Hulkenberg is second! Lawson is fastest in the middle sector. Esteban Ocon goes fifth. Qualifying is taking a dramatic change. Liam Lawson is coming around the last couple of corners. Is he about to go fastest? Perez second.
Perez second.
Sainz fastest sector 2. Liam Lawson across the line is fourth.
Hamilton's
132.
going to be knocked out, possibly.
And Alonso and Norris. Russell goes only sixth and Stroll's nearly in the wall. Yellow flag at sector 16. Double yellow. Someone's gone for it. Stroll. Stroll in the wall with a huge accident in the last corner. And the red flag is out. He came through and he hit the wall hard. Our first big hitter. McLaren go right through it. The red flag is out. Bottas, Piastri, Sargent, Joe Stroll out. And a huge impact for Lance Stroll. We were on board with him. Coming out of the last corner. Gets on the marbles. The rear steps out. Hurtles towards the wall. Front and rear suspension go. And that is a huge accident. And Tsunoda tops the session. Hamilton gets lucky. But Stroll crashing and will start last anyway. Wow. Red flag out.
He was so loose, Lance Stroll. Let's hear from him.
Responding.
Lance, car is safe. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Lance Stroll is okay.
Thank goodness.
I was worried because he didn't jump out the car, but he's right in the firing line. That's a huge hit. It might be a very lengthy red flag, this as well, because the Tech Pro's damaged and the concrete wall I can see is damaged. That is an accident at around about 180 miles an hour. The car just drifted in, as Josh T said. It was wide coming in.
Car is safe. Are you okay?
Oh, he just got the curb at the exit, and it knocked him round for 6 as well. I've just seen it on the onboard again. That's a huge accident. Front and rear wing gone. Huge accident.
Yeah, and a couple of corners before he was so loose, he very nearly hit the wall there, and then coming out of the final corner, a massive, massive hit. Let's have a look at the replay.
It was quite a nasty
And
hit.
there's where he was loose, and here he comes into the final corner.
Yeah, hits the curb, loses the whip. Oh, bang. Huge accident. And then there's a McLaren that just comes through right in the centre of it as well. That's Piastri. And look at that. Oh, it just launches towards the wall. And the wheel bounces off. That is a huge impact. Really huge impact. And there's the McLaren. Oh, nearly hit the wheel. My God, that's a huge one. That is a big accident. Huge accident.
And there goes the McLaren.
Yeah. Huge
But
accident.
yeah, just as he came out
There
the
he
final
is.
chicane, so loose.
Huge accident there. Stroll coming through.
He's out the car.
Yeah, he's walking away. Medical cars there as well to take him back in. He'll go to the end of the pit lane. But
Aston Martin.
yeah. Oh, that's a big hit.
That is a massive hit, but Aston Martin safety car / medical car in a night race is the best pairing. But Lance Stroll, really good to see him jump out of the car, a massive hit. And as you said, Josh, this is going to be a very lengthy red flag.
We were on board with it as it came out. Huge crash. Session suspended. That's our first red flag of the weekend. And it was at the last corner as well. Just lost the rear.
What did you say, Josh?
I know.
About me coming in. Hopefully I'll bring some red flags because it's been very quiet.
Happens.
Usually I've been the curse of the red flags.
So we're going to be in for a very lengthy delay here. Let's confirm how they finished in Q1. Tsunoda ahead of Perez, Hulkenberg, Lawson, Magnussen, Russell, Sainz, Ocon, Verstappen, the clear the top 10. Gasly, Norris, Alonso, Hamilton and Albon, the 15 that go through. Out of the session.
Oh, God.
That's the wheel off the track. Bottas, Piastri, Sargent, Zhou and Stroll out of the session. And that is a huge impact. The marshal's set to work now to try and get rid of it, but Yeah, that wheel just flew off, Jess. That was how fast it was. It just flew off.
Yeah. It's a shame to see Stroll out, but I think he'll be taken to the medical centre. I'm almost certain with an impact like that.
Yeah. The start of Q2 will be delayed. Well, we knew that was coming on the TV.
Duh.
pages.
And Josh,
Yeah.
moving away from F1 for a second, the Beer Monster Ducati team, 1-2, separated by 6,000ths of a second in eBay qualifying.
P15, so we're through.
In BSB.
Yes! I guess we're a bit lucky there.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm on Team Radio. That just came through. Yeah, in BSB.
Yeah.
Brilliant. What a result.
And
there.
after the tragic passing of Paul Bird, what a way
That's just
to
brilliant.
round out. Yeah. Hopefully they'll be able to do something special in the races.
Definitely. I might watch the highlights, by the way.
Well,
Which
first
you-
race is at 16:15.
Unfortunately,
2 seconds.
we're out, sure.
Half time, I was locking up all the time.
We're still ongoing. The moment is 32.8.
Where we are?
P90.
That was Joe's radio.
And by the way, with Discovery Plus, I just realised you can, if you've got a Sky subscription, you now can watch it on the web app now, which is you used to not be able to, but now you can.
Yes.
Woo.
By the way, if you also have TNT as part of your package on Sky, you can now watch it on Discovery Plus as well.
Yeah,
And of
and
course-
if you recently sign up to Discovery Plus through Sky, it will take a while to activate that part of the subscription. So if you don't see it straight away,
Yeah.
It's
panic.
not just British Superbikes this weekend, it's of course Boldor.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Trying to get the timing screens working so that we can see some delta, but it's...
We're seeing the replay from Lance Stroll again, it looks like.
Yeah. So that's Stroll coming through. I was just trying to get it.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to work, is it? Oh, right, there we go. Is it going to work? It's being very...
And then we're seeing it from the outboard shot as well. And how did the...
There we go.
Wait, hang
yeah.
on. So one of the McLarens has avoided that, like...
Piastri.
That was Piastri. No, it wasn't Piastri. That was Norris.
And
It's
Piastri
weird.
came after.
Yeah, it's weird how it hits the wall and it just sort of... The front wheel just completely detached.
Yeah, let's watch from Piastri's view.
2 seconds.
So we got...
Keep pushing.
So Piastri came from the right, Norris came from the left.
Yeah, so that's Norris going through. It's Piastri who goes through the middle of the debris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that could have been two big
There's it.
impacts if
Yeah.
the McLarens...
This is Piastri's on board. So he takes it through 18 and 19, gets a little wiggle himself on the curb, and had no chance to avoid it. He did not know about the yellow or red flag.
Hey, Fab.
Jesus,
Car's very hot.
Jesus,
We'll get to you with
Jesus,
fans.
your app is way behind.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm just seeing Carlos Sainz being fitted into his seat
Me
again.
too. Me too. We just hear from Hamilton saying that the car's really hot coming through. Let's check in with Sky Sports F1 and what they make of it. Crofty. Verstappen Radio.
Locked up again in this corner. Balance.
Is the driver alright? That must have been quite a big one.
He confirmed on the radio he was okay.
Are we safe?
Hey, Fab.
Car's very hot.
We'll get to you with fans.
Replay from Team Radio's Crofty. Karoon, this is Skypad.
It was a dramatic end to Lance Stroll's session, but let's go back to earlier on, because the whole session was just messy for him. Earlier on, he got blocked by Logan Sargent up at turn 7 and 8. It heavily compromised his first run. Then that final run, look at how he started the lap. There's a whole load of traffic coming out of turn 16 and 17. Lance decides, okay, hang on, I'm not waiting for these people. I'm going to go. He boots it. Watch his hands. He's changing switches on the steering wheel. There. Goes into the quali mode that he needs, a high power mode. But it was a scrappy and frustrating start to the lap for a guy who was already in the bottom 5, about to be knocked out. And then let's go into the crash itself. So this is back at that 16-17 towards the end of the lap. He's got a car in front of him, bit of oversteer coming out. Now let's just slow it down as he gets through. There, carrying a lot of understeer. Watch his hands. Let's just go back a little bit. Look at how much steering lock he's got. That's an extraordinary amount of understeer. And he's just pushing, pushing, pushing there, and it bottoms out. Watch his hands. That's where the issue comes. It bottoms out, coming off the curb, and that sends him into the spin. Complete opposite lock, then it snaps the other way. And watch his head here. I'm gonna just go back and play it at full speed because I think it's worth just looking at the violence that his head has had during the impact across the headrest. Huge, huge impact there, and very, very pleased to hear that he was okay. Oscar Piastri was on a lap that I think could have got him potentially into Q2. And he was up on the first 2 sectors, so I think he would have got through. And he was very unlucky. Got to the last corner, and unfortunately there, as you can see, he had Lance on track, red flag out. So very unfortunate for Oscar, because I think he did have the pace to get into Q2 today. But yeah, it wasn't to be. Even though, very glad to hear that Lance Stroll is okay.
Well, thank you ever so much, Karun. And great analysis. There was an Alpine just in front of Lance Stroll, so was that one of the reasons that caused the understeer, maybe the dirty air coming off it? We can go down to the McLaren pit wall. Zak Brown, CEO at McLaren, is joining us for this qualifying session. Zak, no one likes to see an end to a qualifying session like that. We're so glad that Lance Stroll is okay. Your driver, sadly for him, because of the red flag, unable to get through.
Yeah, disappointing. I mean, you know, happy Lance is okay. That was a big hit, but unfortunately it prematurely ended Oscar's qualifying. I think he had enough pace there to get into the next session, and I think had enough pace to be in Q3, but now we'll prepare him for tomorrow's race and focus on Lando now for the balance of the session.
And your new updates seem to be working really well, Zach, on the full set on Lando's car.
Yeah, really pleased with that. If we looked at our last session, the gap between Lando and Oscar, I think, was pretty much the update. So everyone at McLaren's done a fantastic job again, making our car faster, and hopefully we can put it to good use here this weekend.
Zach, at the end of that Q1 session, the track ramped up massively. Is that what the teams were expecting, or was it a surprise even thinking that the track's going to improve?
No, we knew it was going to go quicker. Obviously, Lando was high up there, and you can see he ended up near the cutoff line. It was that close. Yeah. So, yeah, no, we knew it was going to be quicker, so we had to send our boys out again.
When we get down to it, assuming that Lando gets into Q3, what would you be happy with this evening?
I'd be happy, be very happy with the top 5. It's pretty much where he's been all weekend. I think there's not much between it. And as I think it was Martin said earlier, stay tuned for Q3. I think it's going to be pretty spectacular.
Teeing it up nicely. You should be in marketing, Zach.
I try every once in a while.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And great to have you with us, Zak Brown, McLaren Racing CEO. Now, the stewards already investigating Logan Sargent for possibly impeding are also looking at another impeding moment in the pit lane.
Yeah, so Max Verstappen then.
Looks like yeah.
So there was a bit of chatter on the team radio, but Max sat there by the green light for quite some time to let the car in front get ahead and therefore stopping others coming out of the pit lane. And the stewards are going to look at that after the session.
Now that's interesting because, Omi, you said about Max was slowing people down in the fast lane, didn't you? And now it's going to be investigated. Russell complained about it on the radio.
Absolutely, just really chaotic, but is this finally the bad weekend for Max Verstappen is going to be the question. So yeah, let's hope it is. Let's hope we do get a good qualifying, but so far it's looking absolutely cracking. But yeah, obviously both Alfa Romeo struggling a tiny bit. Joe really struggling at turn number 14 as well. Hulkenberg possibly, he's made it through. He was asked to improve a tiny bit on turn 1 braking as well. Piastri down at turn 7. Perez is struggling a tiny bit with the rear in general at turn 14. Sainz possibly could do a bit of work as well at turn 5 and turn 7. So yeah, quite a bit. So from all of the drivers, they all have still a tiny bit of work to do. Lawson struggling a bit with as well through some kind of corners. So a lot of work for everyone to do really in this qualifying session still. And it's going to be a hard one, but let's hope we don't get too many crashes.
Oh no.
What?
Both Matt Gallagher and Tommy are wearing Ferrari t-shirts, and they just posted on Twitter 35 minutes ago, full Ferrari hype train on the stream today.
Well, they're going to curse themselves then, unfortunately. That's the way it always goes. So we're in a bit of a delay then, waiting for Q2 to get started. Let's talk about Liam Lawson, shall we, as well? How impressive was he? Up to 4th place, though. I think also getting the track improvement. The track is clear, but now we've got a yellow flag out there again, so they're still clearing up the barriers and everything and all the mess. It's going to take another at least 10 minutes as they all take a look out on the track to do it. But yeah, Jess, Lawson, 4th. Would Danny Ricciardo gone quicker if he was in the car right then as well? And the track improvement was a key factor.
Maybe, but considering it's his 3rd race around one of the most difficult tracks, it's pretty impressive. And Tsunoda as well, both AlphaTauris made the most of the track conditions, and that's important. And I did say about red flags.
Yeah.
If you're not on the track at the right time, if you're not at one of the first people out, you could be in trouble. And that's what likes of Piastri had to suffer with.
Let's catch up with, yeah. Let's catch up with the chat. SHT says, I'm glad Lance is okay, but man, he's absolutely finished. I don't know why Aston still want to bring him back, which is so annoying. Someone needs to wake Lawrence up. I didn't see a car crash at that section before throughout the history of the Singapore Grand Prix. This is the first time I'd seen this happen at the starting straights. Yeah, he got the exit curve, didn't he? And it just snapped on him around. Hello to Cole, who's watching on. Jeff says, hi everyone, hello. Adam says, going to see craziness in Singapore. You're not wrong there. Jeff says, great descriptive commentary on that crash. Well done, everyone. Thank you very much, Jeff, for the compliment there. Adam says, Stroll's car was destroyed. Glad he's okay. Adam also saying, I also, what is tonight? NASCAR is at Bristol Motor Speedway. Absolutely. Can't wait for that. I'll be on USRN as well. Synthel, hello Synth. My God, that was a scary impact. It really was. Huge impact. Jeff says...
It made us jump.
Yeah, it did. We were on board with him as well, so we experienced that completely live in action. And Jeff saying, yes, the Bristol night race. And it's going to be very fun as well. And Josh says hi. Hello. As it comes to it, yeah. So if you're watching us on the JB Motorsports main YouTube channel on the full race replay, sorry, we've got a delay. I know we're premiering it, so I am sorry about that.
Join us live on JB Motorsports 2.
Yeah. Let's go down to Oscar Piastri.
Haven't you? Tell me, how was your lap up until that point? Were you in the final sector when the red flag came out?
Yeah, I was in the last corner when the red flag came out. I mean, it wasn't the best lap I've ever done, but it should have been enough to get through. Yeah, I mean, starting the lap was like driving through a car park. Yeah, a bit embarrassing for everybody, to be honest, but I'm glad Lance is okay. Obviously a very big crash. Yeah, just a shame that we're just behind it instead of just in front of it, so makes our afternoon tomorrow or evening tomorrow very difficult, but we'll try our best.
When you say, like in the car park, you mean because of the traffic, because everyone's slowing up to start their lap?
Yeah, we've got, I came around turn 17 and there was, I think cars were 4 wide at one point. You know, I'm hearing that there's a car 3 seconds behind me and I'm seeing 4 cars blocking the road in front of me. It's not a very safe situation. I think it was Logan and, you know, he only just squeezed through whoever it was on the wall. Yeah, not the best look, I don't think. So it's annoying. I feel like it's not the first time it's happened this year either. Yeah, I was quite lucky to start my lap in the end, but yeah, not a great look.
Do you think you'll all talk about it? Is it a driver's briefing kind of conversation, or?
I mean, it's always a difficult one to try and come up with a solution. We obviously had the minimum lap time in Monza, but that comes with its own issues. So it's been removed for this weekend, but I think clearly we need to come up with something because, you know, we've had a similar situation to this at other circuits. especially, you know, here with the run plan that everybody does. It makes it very tight for the final lap. And, you know, you always want to try and get that last lap in. So maybe there was something better we could have done from the team side. But, yeah, I don't think we're the only ones in trouble because there was about 10 cars lined up before the last corner.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, interesting comments there from, and incident between several cars in turns 16 to 19 has been noted by the stewards for impeding Jess. So it looks like we're going to be in for a long night.
We're going to be in for the long haul.
Yeah, long night now. Long night. SHT says on the Twitch chat, Lawson doesn't seem to be driving like a rookie. Another impressive performance from him there on his first street track competing as a Formula 1 driver. Absolutely, and Lawson's got no previous experience at Singapore either, so big improvement
I think
for him.
it helps with his Super Formula experience. I think this is helping him in a way, because he has been racing this year. He hasn't taken a year off of racing. He has been racing, and Super Formula is quite similar. So in a way, that experience he's got this year has helped him.
It's kept him going, it's kept him energised, Josh T, and certainly we're going to be experiencing quite an interesting run around when we go into qualifying 2, because the track improvement's going to be there at the end of it as well. It's going to continue to have the 3 seconds advantage.
Yeah, but we haven't seen the front straight for a while, have we? We haven't seen the last corner and the progress. So,
I'm just getting yellow flag notifications.
Yeah, wonder what's going on there. Of course, they're going to have to be replacing the Tech Pro and have a look at the concrete barrier.
It
but
still
going back
says
to that-
Q1.
Yes.
Yes, it does, yeah. It hasn't actually officially changed yet.
Yeah, and there is Liam Lawson.
It's just been announced. It will be investigated after the session. So
Which drivers?
I don't know. It's not telling us, is it? It's just
Most of them.
It's just the impeding that we're getting at the moment. FIA stewards involved with several cars between turns 16 and 19 will be investigated after the session for impeding. That's all we're being told. We're being told nothing else about anything that's getting changed around. Karoon's at the sky pad.
Let's go on board with Max Verstappen. You can see he's alongside this Alpine here. And it's carnage. Watch this. As it comes up into 16 and 17, at this
Focus on
point,
the time management, Max.
that all...
Don't get into those silly games, will you? Thanks.
So GP's telling him, don't get into silly
I don't
games.
understand where they expect you to go.
And then, just look at this. He's just crawling because what do? They're all kind of waiting for each other here. Max is nearly at a standstill. There goes the Aston Martin. There goes Carlos Sainz. They decide, okay, we're going to go.
Tyres in a much better
Mercedes there. And look at it. I mean, it's madness. I mean, this is so dangerous.
Go, though, Max.
It's something.
There's so many fucking cars.
It is something that, apologies for the language there.
Yeah, apologies for
But
that.
it is something that we really dread. You know, we've seen it at Monza, we've seen it at other tracks, and Max is probably doing, I don't know, walking pace there, Crofty? I could walk faster than that. It's horrendous.
Karoon, what you couldn't really tell from the on-board, that moment there, I think, Logan Sargent was coming through on a flying lap.
Sargent was on a
and Max
faster
had
lap,
to
yeah.
jink to the left right at the last minute to avoid the Williams. And that was pretty scary.
Yeah, and so was that Alfa Romeo, and you know, on a flying lap, and it's something that they really ought to be looking at. I mean, I agree with Martin. I don't fully understand that outcome from the driver's briefing, because clearly there's a safety issue there, and it needs to be addressed. And I'll just play the team radio again for those of you who missed it earlier of Max as he crossed the line.
Well, mate, there's so many cars.
And it is, I've just been confirmed, it is the 2 Ferraris, Hamilton, Verstappen, Alonso, and I believe Piastri, who are under investigation for blocking at the last corner.
Where did you find that?
We've just seen it on the T feed. Like, it's not even me being thinking. We've just seen it on the
The T feed's not updating for me.
on the pit lane channel as well. We just saw the replay of that part of the track, and we've seen who it was down there. So now we've seen which cars were slow. So that's who would be under investigation between them. We'll get that confirmed in due course. But it was the 2 Ferraris, Hamilton, Verstappen, and Piastri and Alonso who were slow on the line.
Yeah, because there was a lot of people trying to get out of the way of those cars, like Sargent, for example, and I think Russell too.
Just been told as well from Chris Metland, Zhou Guanyu saw it coming yesterday. I think mainly qualifying, it's going to be a massive pile-up going into the last chicane before you're starting the lap. So that was yesterday. Zhou Guanyu said that in qualifying. Thanks to Chris Metland for that. Congratulations to Chris Metland and Jess McFadden, of course. Jess, a producer and former WTF1 pundit as well. Now Sky F1 producer. And Chris Metland, of course, our wonderful journalist who helps us out a few times a year. Got married last weekend as well. So congratulations to you both as well. So great ceremony we saw as well on the Instagrams as well, getting all the information out there. It's still officially Q1, but we're in the delay, so I've popped my earbuds in so I can hear Jess, Josh and Omi directly into my ears and not coming through the speakers in the commentary box, because I feel like we're going to be like this for a while with this red flag, because I'm being told it could be another 10 minutes or so before we even get a chance to get going, because Lance Stroll has properly destroyed the barrier. No flash photography, please. There we go. Good lad, good
They're
lad.
having fun.
Ted's got news.
It was really
but there are three sort of rather large vehicles servicing the people who are making up the repairs to the last corner. So it is going to be some time. There is a sweeper that comes up the pit lane and the pit straight, and then back towards the area affected. In fact, I can see the sweeper coming now and doing another lap, if you like, another circuit, I should say, of the area. So no sign that they're moving out of the way. So as well as all the jeopardy that we saw with people impeding other drivers in Q1, just got to bring attention to how close Lewis Hamilton was in that session. And I think it's 17 thousandths of a second faster than Alex Albon. They had a 0.2 of a second cushion to Valtteri Bottas behind, but no wonder Lewis Hamilton was saying on the radio afterwards, are we safe? Are we safe? Because they were almost, very close to be, well, it was 17,000 seconds ahead of Alex Albon in the Williams himself, saying that we're rather fortunate to be into Q2. As
There's
for
the
what
track.
the issue is with Hamilton, it's just the outlap pace, say Mercedes. It's getting the tyres in the right window, getting the tyres up to temperature. Lewis, of course, knows what he needs to do. Didn't perfect it in free practice 3, and it looks like he didn't perfect it on the opening runs in Q1 as well. Of course, we didn't get to see his final attempt before the red flag came.
If you're just joining us and you're wondering why we're under a red flag, Lance Stroll having a major impact at the end of qualifying 1 at the last corner, bringing out the red flag. It has delayed the session for around about 25 minutes at the current time. So we should be just about to get ready to go into qualifying 3. It has not been the case, but the marshals here done an impressive job, and we should be able to get going in the near 10 minutes time. All the fans improving. That's a Ferrari supporter with a daughter of Red Bull. That's interesting. And there's some stock footage of Singapore, not live, because you can tell it's not live. So yeah, because the swimming pool is closed during qualifying for one very good reason. A couple of years ago, somebody was throwing water off the edge of it during the race. And so they closed it. It's just at the outside of the circuit, but there's 2 swimming pools, so they've closed all swimming pools during the race. It happened in Valencia as well, actually. I remember the swimming pool, the exit at turn 3, where one cameraman decided to get in with the camera when there was 3 girls at the edge of the pool, and they all turned around, and as they did so, they knocked the camera into the pool, breaking about $1 million camera. So it wasn't exactly the greatest camera work in the world. But nice to see people all enjoying themselves and having some swims up there as well as we look down on the aerial view here. There's some Ferrari fans coming in as well. Omi, are you out there? You got Ferrari on and Ferrari ready down there? You all looking forward to it?
Well, I am hoping for a Ferrari pole, but no, not any Ferrari shirts. But yeah, it was really chaotic at the end, I have to say. Tsunoda was the one backing off first of all. That's where everyone started queuing up. Then came Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Ocon, and then it's Gasly who starts backing up. Then Lawson, Verstappen will come in, and then you have Sainz and Hamilton who all then get on the brakes. That's when you have like the loads of cars. Then Perez has to slow down because Ocon's in front of him, and then that's when we get so many cars back there because everyone obviously starts just queuing in there. So it was really chaotic right down there, but luckily we didn't see any kind of crashes like we saw in the Formula 3 qualifying at Monza. Obviously we were between two cars, but obviously Stroll did find the wall right at the end by himself.
Yeah, he did it all his own there as well. Jeff says, I think they should give Lawson a chance. Don't agree with bringing the grinning badger back into F1 and have new blood in F1, please. Q2 will start at 21:53, so that is 5 minutes time until the start of Q2, which is great news to come through. And I think, Jess, as well, the drivers like it because Tsunoda's looking pretty at the moment. He's P1 for the first time, and he might stand a shot at getting into a decent result in Q3 if he does what he did in Q1 again.
Hopefully both AlphaTauris score well in this Q2 session because both of them have been looking good quite a lot of the weekend as well. FP3 maybe not, but there was different track conditions compared to obviously what we saw in FP2. So I'm having high hopes for them as well. And obviously next week, Japan, it'll be Yuki's home Grand Prix. So it'll be a good weekend for Yuki to have the momentum going into his home Grand Prix next week.
Marry me, Lewis. I don't know him, pointing to her husband. Oh dear. Go on, Josh T.
Josh T has something, Josh.
Yeah, Josh T.
Can you quickly look in comms chat? It's Lance Stroll's moment of impact into the barriers.
Oh my word.
Oh, God.
Huge impact there. My goodness me. We'll retweet it. And this is... Oh, this is Verstappen slowing... This is what's earlier.
Is this?
Verstappen has just stopped in the pit lane. Does he have a problem?
Not sure.
Well, okay, let's Leclerc.
We cannot stop like this, come on. And if we need, we overtake on the outlap.
As much as it...
So that is Max Verstappen stopping at the end of the pit lane in the fast lane with a green light.
Max. Looks like yeah, okay, that looks okay now, mate.
Okay, so it was traffic then.
Why would they test it?
It was. I don't think it was GP. I think that was Max getting annoyed with the amount of traffic that's there and decided to take measures. Oh, now that's a Michael Schumacher moment if ever I saw one. That is a deliberate cheat, and that is not even.
Okay, Max. Looks like yeah. Yeah. Okay, that looks okay now, mate.
Max stopped what he was going to say there. He was going to say there's a lot of traffic. So he stopped what he was going to say there. That is a deliberate cheat for Max Verstappen. Well, I've never said this before because I've always... Abu Dhabi wasn't Max's fault. The cost cap wasn't Max's fault.
Yeah. 2021 and the cost cap was not Max's fault, period.
But in terms of right now, that is Max Verstappen cheating. That is absolutely cheating.
Oh, Team LH are going to be all on that.
I've never seen a more direct cheat in my life than just now. Right, I need someone's help.
I'm surprised that not many people have gone on it on Twitter about it.
I think that it's a direct cheat in my book.
It is going to be investigated.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. 40 seconds until the green light goes on. It's investigated after the session. Yeah, they're impeding. That is a cheat. That is a direct cheat. Q3 is going to start a minute later than planned. So it's going to start at 53 now, not 52.
It was always 53, wasn't it?
Oh, was it? I can't remember.
It was always 53, yeah.
Let's get Sky's thoughts quickly while we set up.
Where you, the driver, made the mistake.
Which didn't happen, ever. Ted Graham, it's down to you.
Well, just to pick up on that, the drivers questioning where Max was in the pit lane, whether he was blocking them, whether any of them had got so close to him that they couldn't undertake him. There is room to get two cars out of the pit lane here. It's tight, but you can get to. A lot of drivers do a practice start on the left-hand side. That's the slow lane, and then they pass them on the right-hand side. But that might be the question as to whether Max blocked it so completely that nobody could pass. We're almost underway. It's Sergio Perez leading Max Verstappen. But Crofty, I've looked again at the race director's notes, and there is a section about laps during qualifying that cars are not driven unnecessarily slowly and all of that, but it doesn't mention the pit lane. As I said earlier, I've seen that happen before and no action taken, but we'll see what happens.
Well, the pit lane is part of the racetrack, but let's see what they decide.
Used tyres for the two Ferraris as they come out of the garage.
Used tyres for the two Ferraris. New for the Red Bulls that I've seen. I haven't seen the
and new for Lando Norris as well, as we can see.
Thank you very much, Ted and Sky. So here we go then. Q2 is going to get underway finally after a delay due to Lance Stroll's, well, quite frankly, massive accident. So it's time to begin once again. The green light goes on and qualifying number 2 is underway, and this time the Red Bulls do get out the track straight away. No Max Verstappen holding up the field, which is going to be investigated after the session. So Max Verstappen deliberately blocking people. It is a direct foul. You can't do that. You can't stop in the fast lane for as long as he did, and he knew it was about traffic. That is Max Verstappen categorically cheating. That, for me, is up there with Schumacher stopping in the stopping on the track at Rascasse in 2006, Rosberg stopping at the top of the hill in 14 at Monaco. That is a direct cheat from Max Verstappen. I've never said this before.
Alonso stopping Hamilton do a fast lap in quali one year.
Yeah, in Hungary. Yeah. That is a direct, deliberate cheat from Max Verstappen. He did not want to go out the fast lane because of the traffic, so he held everybody else up behind him. Deliberate or not, that is a cheat, and that is going to be a big penalty. The precedent for this is disqualification from qualifying and starting from the back of the grid. So now all eyes turn to Perez. Wow. Is Max Verstappen going to be his own undoing? 10 race wins in a row, and his own frustrations and ego might have just cost him an 11th win in a row. Wow.
Was there no... Are you sure there was no room for everybody else to get past?
You're not allowed to go from the fast lane into the slow lane again once you've entered the fast lane. Unless Verstappen had a problem, which he didn't, Russell's not allowed to go round him. So Russell... No, otherwise everyone would have gone round him. So you can't... You can't undertake in the pit lane. So they were all stuck there until Verstappen left. So, yeah, that's a foul.
That is weird.
And that stopped. It nearly cost Hamilton a run, and it cost everybody else behind him because there were several cars behind. So that's going to be a big talking point for Max Verstappen as he now starts his lap time. In towards turn number 1, sparks are flying. He's on a new set of soft compound tyres, very close to the wall, excellent 2. Up towards turn 4, taking Apex in.
Just focus on your tyres.
Perez was told, let Max go ahead. So Max has overtaken Perez. You can see on the driver tracker, but Perez was told that on the outlap. We just heard it on the radio. Oh my. First sector for Max is...
Team orders.
Yeah, 20... Oh! Max is a 27.250 first sector, but Magnussen is a 27.184. Magnussen is faster in the first sector. Come on, Kevin. Hulkenberg! Lando Norris, first sector. They're all going faster.
Can I go ahead then?
His tyres, Josh. It's his tyres. He's not operating them at the right window.
Okay, told to let you through, actually.
Yeah, he's not. Max has now got traffic with one of that's who was ahead of him. It's Ocon. It's Gasly. It was Gasly. He's past Gasly.
Magnussen, purple middle sector. Sainz, purple first sector.
Yeah, so Verstappen's losing out on time, and now he's got traffic ahead of him because that was Tsunoda going through ahead of him. He's got Ocon then ahead, and he's got Albon, who he's just passed. So this is really not good news for Max Verstappen. A really scruffy opening gambit here in Q2 with so much on the line. What's the time going to be? We saw
fresh tyres.
It's a 1:32.170. That's nowhere near enough. We saw a 1:31 in the last session in Q2. So this is not going to work.
Magnussen, P1, 1:32.1. We have got
Perez goes third. 132.310. But look at this, it's Lando Norris you've got to keep an eye on. We saw a 131.9.
Careful middle.
131.9 was the first session from Tsunoda. Can Norris get anywhere near it across the line now? And the McLaren's a 131.95. Wow. He does. So he's 58,000. No, hang on, what's the time? He's 10th quicker. Sainz across the line. And Sainz goes at 131.893. And look at Leclerc right behind the other Ferrari on those tough. Now the two Ferraris are on used soft compound tyres, and yet they're still faster than the Red Bulls on new tyres. Red Bull in serious trouble here in Singapore. Fernando!
Alonso going to be faster.
50, it's matched! It's matched! 58 thousandths to Sainz, 58 thousandths to Norris. 131.835. Top three.
What happened to Perez then going through turn 10?
He's got on the rumble strip, took it off wide. Fernando Alonso, is this the weekend he can get victory 33? Josh T.
Verstappen and Perez, both of the Red Bulls, separated by 3 thousandths of a second on their past laps.
This qualifying is turning into the high drama. Alonso fastest.
Gasly's on a run. Trying to see if Gasly was faster than Verstappen's lap, but it's hard to tell. No.
Here comes Gasly. Nope, he goes down 7th. Tsunoda's looking good.
Oh, wait, he's faster than Verstappen.
What? Oh, God. Verstappen, this is unbelievable.
Both Alpines are faster
Josh.
than Verstappen.
I can't believe this. Red
Yuki
Bull.
Tsunoda comes in the pits. He's aborted his run. Russell and Hamilton are about to start their run soon as well. I think they're doing the right thing, making sure they don't get through traffic. Oh, there's Tsunoda going to the weight bridge.
Oh, and that weight bridge just costs everybody, doesn't it? We've already... Hang on a minute. Why is there 3 minutes to go? There's 8 minutes to go. What's happened with our timings there? No idea.
No, it's 9 minutes to go. You're good.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened with our timings.
Mine's fine.
There we go. Our timing tower changed. The clock's changed. For some reason, it only said 3 minutes to go, but it's... Oh, that's because I changed back to scene 2. It reduced the clock. Yeah, okay.
Right, okay.
So 8:34 to go in this session. That's the official time at the moment. Here comes George Russell then. He's looking quite strong in the first sector. 27.095 from... He's up by 10th and a half. So Mercedes have a golden opportunity here to take something back from them. This is really becoming the most energetic session we've seen all year.
I think we're going to get the most hype out of all this as well, as Russell got a bit squirmy on exit through here. What?
He's matched! Hamilton has matched Russell's first sector time to the nearest thousandth of a second. Look at that.
Can we see the same lap time for Lewis and Alonso?
It's a 27.095 for Hamilton and Alonso. They've matched. That's incredibly hard to do. Russell's half a second faster, but that's on Hülkenberg's time, not Alonso's. So who's got the is Russell still up there? Who's got that fastest middle sector time?
Fastest middle sector, I can't see on the TV.
No, I can't. Russell's coming out the last 2 corners, though. This should be a better time than Alonso's, just based on that first sector time. Gets a lot of wiggle on, though, and nearly follows Lance on the wall. He clipped the curb on the entrance to the corner. Lost a lot of time, but he's 92 thousandths quicker than Alonso. 131.743.
Sainz was purple middle sector.
And here comes Hamilton now into the last 2 corners. He should be able to find something. Swings it in, takes a little bit of wide angle. Hamilton goes into 5th place, or 132.019.
Verstappen could be knocked out.
Verstappen is P10. Perez is already out of qualifying. 3,000, as Josh T said earlier on, between them. And Red Bull here are looking so bad. This is their bogey track, and was that lights failing on the circuit there? What's happened there? I don't know. And here's Tsunoda with the glitchy audio, and here's the radio.
Thanks, Ted.
What the street, man? Honestly.
Impeding.
It's Max again. It's Max.
Yuki Tsunoda.
It was Max. Max impeded him.
What is going on with Red Bull?
Honestly.
That was Max Verstappen impeding Tsunoda. Red Bull's perfect season is blowing up here in Singapore. I do not believe what we're seeing. Verstappen runs a lot of Schumacher personality-wise. Win at all costs, mind thinking, says Jeff. Yeah, absolutely. I've never seen this before. Max Verstappen looking like he did back in 2021 when he was with Hamilton, a bit vulnerable, a bit stressed. He's blocking people. Perez is off the mark as well. Hamilton is just in 5th position going for another lap. But Russell and Alonso, Russell can't do the distance of a race in that car. Sainz, I don't think. Alonso has a golden opportunity here to win the Singapore Grand Prix. 15 years ago, he won in 2008 under, well, dubious circumstances with Crashgate. And turn 4...
Well, let's hope he wins it on merit this time.
He did win in 2010, but Jess, turn 4 incident involving Verstappen and Tsunoda noted for impeding. Verstappen's under investigation twice.
The stewards are going to be so busy.
I don't believe it.
Literally, almost everybody's probably going to get a penalty at this rate. Not everybody, but you know what I mean.
I don't believe it.
No reason, and the car's not working for him. But it seems everything else is just falling apart at the moment, doesn't it, at Red Bull? But what matters is Q3. That's if you get through to Q3, that's where you
if he makes it to
Red Bull
Q3.
have practiced and displayed excellence throughout this season, and it comes to the moment, the race where they can win the Constructors' Championship, the first possible moment they can do that, and then things just look like they're unravelling a touch at the moment. I'm sure it's not as bad as it looks, but it's like we're big darts fans, as you know, and when you play darts, you can hit a double anytime you want, until it comes to the winning double, that one that's going to seal the moment.
Yeah, you crumble under the pressure, and that's exactly what's happening right here. They are crumbling under the pressure in qualifying. I've never seen this before. Amy?
I've never seen Red Bull make a mistake. Sorry, Amy.
Go on.
After you, Jess.
I've never seen Red Bull make mistakes like that. I mean, that is... I think they're going to dominate in every other track coming up in the calendar. But they just, night tracks, apart from Bahrain, night tracks, they seem to... One of the cars seem to have issues.
Turn 4 incident involving Verstappen and Tsunoda will be investigated after the in-session for impeding. So that is two. And Ferrari and Sainz nearly hit Verstappen coming out of the pit lane.
Oh, God.
This is amazing.
Okay, go. Yes, I got you shouted. If not, I would have crashed.
This is unbelievable stuff. What's happening right now? Christian Horner is having a heart attack. He's going for surgery after this to get his heart back in. What is going on? Everything is just
clue.
Be careful, be careful. Okay, go. Yes, I got you shouted. If not, I would have crashed.
So that was Sainz's race engineer on the radio saying, stop, please be careful, because he would have hit Verstappen in the pit lane. That would have just been the ISA. So, Mercedes coming back out again.
That would have been karma. That would have been karma.
There's the Taylor Swift reference.
Wait, is there a song called Karma?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Well, I mean, there's been lizards, but there's not been any chameleons.
Oh,
here
traffic
in
again.
Singapore.
Yeah.
And everybody's out on track.
Verstappen's just like, oh, sod it. I'm moving out the way as quick as I can.
This is just insanity what we're seeing right now. I have never seen a qualifying like this. Is implosion territory of what we are seeing here from qualifying today. Fernando Alonso has a shot at winning the race because Red Bull are going to be nowhere.
Megan, please be better. Please.
I think if I tell Megan this, she is going to drag herself to the commentary box and be here.
What's happening at the Singapore Sling? I was just looking at the pit lane channel, and it's just very odd.
Everyone sort of backed up again. Right, this is the big one to get into Q3. Red Bull might not even go. We've had Perez out several times this year, not making it to the next session. But Max has made a mistake in turn 2. Max made a mistake in turn 2. He lost it, and he hasn't got time to do another lap. Max is going to have to carry this, and he's twitched at 4. Max Verstappen
Josh is getting overexcited.
He made an overcorrection at 1, and look how much he's down. 2 tenths already in the first sector.
That's on Russell.
Both Alpines are separated by 1,000th of a second.
And he's twitched coming out of 10-7.
I'm going to predict Hulkenberg is going to make it into Q3.
And Max is literally so disorganised, and he's coming through. We've got a yellow flag at turn 2. Yellow, and DRS has been disabled. Yellow sector 2, and Max touches the wall, coming out of the Edison Bridge, and Perez is in the wall. Is he okay? What's he done? Is he locked out?
He's back on the circuit. He's back on the circuit.
And that's blocked Leclerc. Look at Perez has spun at turn 2. Perez is out of qualifying once again. Perez is out of qualifying.
Well, I think Verstappen spun as well.
Verstappen, no, he's got going, but Verstappen has not improved. He's dropped half a tenth in the middle sector. Verstappen is losing time.
He's gaining time, though. Ocon to 7th.
This qualifying is imploding as they come through.
Verstappen's 11th.
Verstappen is out of qualifying. Now the question becomes, will he go through? Can Red Bull do it? Verstappen, he goes 10th only.
Yes.
But look at this, they're all improving behind. Gasly,
Go on,
Lawson, Albon, they're all in. Gasly doesn't do it. Checkered flags out. Gasly stays out. Perez is out of qualifying. What about Lawson? Lawson? What about Albon? Here's Liam. Look, this is Tsunoda. Tsunoda's 15th. Tsunoda!
Yes!
He's kicked him out! Tsunoda's kicked him out! Max Verstappen is out!
Oh my God!
Max Verstappen will not make it through to qualifying 2!
Liam Lawson!
And Lawson's kicked him out as well! Lawson's kicked him out! Sainz!
Is Albon improving?
Sainz top! 131, 439! Max
is Albon improving?
Albon is
not?
not!
No.
Yes! 27-2! 39-3!
Oh no, please, Albon's going to kick Lawson out, isn't he?
I don't know if you saw that, but that was shocking.
Oh no, he's down in the final sector. Yeah, he's out. He's out.
Albon across the line. Does he do it? No. Albon 14th. Tsunoda takes the flag, not doing a time. Liam Lawson gets through to Q3 for the first time, and Liam Lawson has kicked out the world champion. The driver in his 3rd Grand Prix in an AlphaTauri has kicked out both Red Bulls. Max Verstappen will not be in qualifying for the first time this year. For the first time this year, neither Red Bull are in Q3. Max Verstappen, to win a Grand Prix tomorrow, will have to do so from 11th on the grid in Singapore. And now it is all eyes on Ferrari, Mercedes, Aston Martin to take pole position. Verstappen is out.
Gasly and Albon.
Did any words come?
Yes.
Both Hatted making it into Q3. Lawson out qualifying Tsunoda. This is insane, Josh.
I can't. Josh T, what are you making of it?
Insane.
Max is walking away. He's angry.
I'm not surprised. I would be.
Wow. What have we just witnessed?
Look, Leclerc! Leclerc's under investigation for failing to slow under yellows for Perez.
That's what I was about to say, because there was yellows when Perez spun and Leclerc was behind.
Josh.
Yes, go on. Go.
A statement from Aston Martin. Lance crashed during qualifying of the Singapore Grand Prix. He got out of the car unaided and was taken to the medical centre for a precautionary assessment. Lance was cleared by the on-site medical team and returned to the team at the track. The AMF1 team paid tribute to the ongoing work of the FIA and the safety measures of current F1 cars.
I agree with that.
I need to sit down. Max Verstappen is not there. I cannot believe it. If you have ever... I do not believe it. Just take a look at the results from Q2. So the top...
I can't believe it.
The top 10, Sainz, Russell, Alonso, Magnussen, Norris, Hulkenberg, Leclerc, Hamilton, Ocon, Liam Lawson in 10th. Out of qualifying, Verstappen, Gasly, Perez, Albon, Tsunoda. Unbelievable scenes here in qualifying. I can't believe... What is going on?
Before today... Red Bull had reached Q3 with both cars at every Singapore Grand Prix since 2009. That's from Lights Out.
And
Twitter is going insane.
This and with the penalties, he could start at the back.
Yeah.
A lot of drives are going to get penalties, Josh.
Alonso's involved in that too as well. So could we see Norris was involved too? We could literally see Magnussen on pole again.
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all.
Okay, I need to voice I need to voice note somebody quickly. Omi, what are your thoughts on this session?
Wow, that was absolutely incredible. But I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Verstappen is out and he isn't happy at all. But yeah, I was worried about Leclerc because I did go back and I checked his first sector. It was 2/10 off, so there might be a slight chance I just lifted a bit. But also it is going to be very, very.
P9.
Yeah! Good job.
That's Ocon.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, if we don't flick the entry switch, it's better.
I didn't move it.
Right, his.
No, I did it.
I know, yeah.
We're a team, you know. We lose together.
He didn't move what?
And this
The
is Perez
anti-switch.
spinning. He locked up at 1 and lost the rear. Sky.
On a track, Perez losing it in turn 2 and then spinning it in turn 3 and spinning out of qualifying. Both Red Bulls look like the biggest handful that Sergio Perez or Max Verstappen have experienced, maybe in their careers, but definitely for a very, very long time. And Verstappen,
I'll be
not
back.
a happy man. And you can understand why, Martin.
Yeah, how bizarre. It looks the worst car on the track. The car that's dominated this season in all weathers, all track layouts, just looks a total handful.
First time since Russia 2018 that neither Red Bull have reached Q3, and that's Max Verstappen making his way into the paddock. And we'll be hearing from him at some stage, but he might want to go and calm himself for a bit. It's a meltdown at Red Bull in the heat and humidity of Singapore this evening. But whilst they have their troubles, Haas have got 2 cars into Q3 for the first time since Austria 2022. And Liam Lawson deserves a massive round of applause on a track that he's never raced at before. In a Formula 1 qualifying that before Zandvoort he never really thought he'd be taking part in. In only his 3rd qualifying session, he's got his car into Q3 and has out-qualified his teammate Yuki Tsunoda as well.
Yeah, he's had a stellar start to his career, has Liam Lawson. You know, he survived Zandvoort, didn't he? Drove extremely well in Monza and looked the real deal here. Driving beautifully, and this is a fearsome racetrack to get to know.
Out in front, Carlos Sainz, George Russell right up there for Mercedes. Fernando Alonso continues his run of being the only driver to reach Q3 at every single session this season. Esteban Ocon ends a 6-race run without a Q3 appearance. Both Alpines that were out in Q1 at Monza showing a little bit more speed here tonight. Oh, and by the way, there's an awful lot of stewards' investigations to come, so whatever the order is at the end of qualifying, that might well change around a bit. And Charles Leclerc is the latest driver to be noted by race control for failing to slow under yellow flags. When a yellow flag is thrown, you need to slow down and be prepared to stop. And he might not have slowed down enough. That's noted by race control, not passed over to the stewards as yet.
This qualifying 3 is going to be one of the most dramatic and changing you've ever seen in your life. We have no idea what is going to happen. But this qualifying, I've never in my life seen one like this.
I've never seen this. Russia 2018 was the last time Red Bulls failed to make it into Q3, either of them. 2018.
The green light is up. Max Verstappen, look, I'm going to put the driver checker on, and he's out. Max is out. I can't believe this. Q3 is underway, and for the first time this year, neither Red Bulls are in there. Perez spinning, putting himself out. Max having a lap from hell. He's under investigation twice. Leclerc has now been reviewed and no further actions, but both Ferraris, both Mercedes, Lando Norris and Fernando Alonso are involved in an investigation for impeding in Q1. And I've no idea. Ted's in the pits.
From Friday, those new bits, and they went back to the other one that they finished the Italian Grand Prix, Monza and Zandvoort, the time before. They know the floor edges that they knew were the right way to go. So it can't be them. So there are a lot of people thinking, well, is it this technical directive on flexible floors? And we don't think it's that either, because the technical directive about flexible floors is clarifying what's acceptable on the lower surface of the floor, the reference plane. Sorry, Crofty, if you do need to come in.
No, that's fine.
This is to, the FIA say this is to make sure there's a common understanding for all on some design details where teams are looking to gain as much advantage as they can. Obviously, that floor compliance allowance in the central part of the floor is crucial to this generation of F1 cars. And the problems the Red Bull are having, slowing down, not getting the tyres in the right window, braking, doesn't seem to be related to that. So that's some insight as to the TD and what explains Red Bull's sudden, dramatic drop in pace.
Cheers, Ted. I love what Josh T's got. Lawson Goat. Amy?
I'm the thing.
Right, Jess, what have you got for us?
Nothing.
Nothing? Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say something earlier before we had to throw down to
No.
Ted.
I was disagreeing with what you said earlier on, so.
All right.
And Gavin Jones, by the way, said in chat, said, I hope the rest of New Zealand is awake at this time for your call, team.
We hope
That
so
is
too.
true.
Lawson is through. Honestly, unbelievable. So.
Oh, impeding
No further
again.
investigation for Leclerc.
Oh.
What?
No further investigation for Leclerc.
Oh, that's what Ted said earlier.
Yeah.
But Leclerc's still under investigation for what happened earlier with the impeding.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
So he's still got one,
he's
but
not
not
out
two.
of trouble yet.
Ted's,
But the only one that not out of this mess is out of this mess is Magnussen.
Magnussen could get on pole position here. That's a very strong possibility. So you've got to keep an eye on it.
I'm still calling Sainz for provisional pole.
Yeah, I went in and I told Megan about it as well, and Dad, they couldn't believe it. That neither of them are in, and Lawson is. Lawson has out-qualified Tsunoda. And another interesting fact here is that Charles Leclerc has never been out-qualified by a teammate here at Singapore. Sainz has been on form all weekend long. He might just do something. But the first sector, that goes to Norris with a 26.876. Alonso, middle sector.
It was Hulkenberg, now it's Alonso.
Alonso does a 30...
Now it's Norris.
Keeps on changing as quickly as you can say it. Magnussen, first benchmarker, 132.396. Hulkenberg, 132.537. That's benchmarkers. So now, can Lando Norris get his second ever pole? Can Lando Norris get up there? Can Leclerc? Can Sainz? Can Alonso get pole? Alonso could be on
Alonso
pole.
off the line.
Here comes Alonso. Alonso provisionally goes P1, a 132.168. But Lando Norris is looking much, much faster in the second sector. Lando Norris is a 131.539. He is, what, nearly 6/10 of a, 6/10 of a second faster.
That looks good.
Sainz second sector.
And Leclerc look good now. Oh, wow.
131.170.
Time in the final sector.
We're nearly in the 130s from the Ferraris, and here comes Leclerc across the line. It's a 131.4. Ferrari 1-2 when Red Bull screw up.
Russell's fast.
Whoa, can we see?
In the first sector, not in the second.
Now, Russell's had a pole position before in Formula 1, of course. He started on pole position twice. Official pole at Hungary last year, and then his second pole, of course, came when he started P1 at the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, but he took the victory in the sprint race. It wasn't officially classified as a pole position then, so in the record books, he's only ever had one. Can he make it
Up
two
the
here?
line goes Russell.
No.
Fourth. Not bad.
131.8 sticks him in fourth.
Here
Lewis
comes
Hamilton, can he get a pole position 105? No, 131.910 puts him down.
They're on scrub tyres, I think.
They are.
Let me check.
Only the two Ferraris have been on brand new tyres. So,
That's probably explains why they're P1 and P2.
38. Look, but Sainz was down in the first sector.
Leclerc is quarter of a second slower than Sainz.
On new
Wow.
tyres. This qualifying, I can't believe we're in for the race of the season tomorrow.
Whoever picked the winner for Stappen, they're probably going to lose some decent points for the bigger winner.
Look at
if
I don't
this goes
think,
like this.
And that's why I'm changing it after qualifying.
I will go for see what happens I will make my prediction tomorrow morning once all the penalties have been discussed. That's what I'm going.
Good idea.
Because otherwise, no idea
I'm
what's
sure
going to
is
happen.
there like a deadline or something?
An hour before lights out, isn't it? Or like somewhere before lights out.
Oh, okay.
Lando,
So noise comes in.
I think it's as soon as the green light goes.
Ah, okay. So it's around about then.
For the
then.
race.
First round.
That's quite late.
It is very late, actually. Yeah. I can't believe this.
For example, I changed my pickle winner when the car started rolling in NASCAR because I didn't realise how. All the penalties that were applied, and it still counted.
Well, Megan is now getting very much ready for tomorrow because she knows Alonso is in the best position to win, or McLaren could win. Well, I am not. I will say this: I find it highly doubtful that Max Verstappen will start 11th tomorrow. I think he will start 20th.
He could be starting at the back.
Yeah. I think Perez might start higher up on the grid.
Could he change gearbox or something? Maybe change one of their parts or something? They're going to be low down anyway.
If it's a penalty from the stewards, you have to start at the back of the grid. But then they can decide whether or not they want to, if they want to change gearbox. If they do that, he has to start from the pit lane, which is slightly harder.
So you would rather start at the back of the grid rather than start at the pit lane?
Is that a nice pit? Is that a nice pillow? That's why I missed the Ferrari mechanic.
Looks like it, doesn't it? Wait a minute then.
Wow, he must be loving life right now.
I so want Fernando Alonso to win just because I've got something I've wanted to say for the past 11 years. If Alonso wins a night
He's never
race.
won a race since 2013. There we go.
Nice.
No, there was something in the air that night. The stars were bright, Fernando. I know it's cheesy, but I wanted to say it. But
yes.
Here's the problem.
Shame we can't play that song because of DMCA.
I know, but here's the... Well, we might get the license for it soon with that thing I'm not allowed to talk about. But here's the thing. Megan would be in the commentary box, and Megan's got the call. So I'll have to say it before and then pass to her to call the light, to call the flag.
Yes.
Just
and if it's
quickly-
Russell, me.
Yes. All right.
Just quickly going on to the ball, not the car. Brighton are leading against Manchester United away.
Oh wow.
What?
Brighton.
So wait, Verstappen's out of Q2 and Brighton are leading
Yes.
football.
Hang on. I think.
What happened to Sainz then? Did he knock something off?
I think I've got the situation, guys. If you want to bear with me here, I think I know where we've ended up. If you take a look at the YouTube screen, we've ended up in the upside down. So I've flipped us.
Huh?
Well,
Nice.
Red Bull are out. We've got Ferrari doing well, McLaren doing well. Brighton are leading against Manchester. We're in the upside down.
Haas
Hi.
doing well. Both
Hi,
cars
guys.
in Q3.
I've swapped us back
my
now.
average.
Josh, you have to turn it back. I've swapped us round again.
What? I'm confused. You haven't changed.
No, on the YouTube channel, I rotated our screens 90 degrees. Our cameras.
That looks like we're down under.
Yeah. Gavin,
Why?
we're coming to you. Well, because we're on the upside down if this is happening. Red Bull have been beaten in Singapore. So, yeah. It's weird. I didn't expect this. You didn't expect this. Nobody expected this.
Right, shall we get our predictions for pole? I'm sticking with mine, Sainz.
Oh.
I mean,
That was a question I just ran back.
Who's going to be on pole?
who's your pick for pole? Originally.
I'm going to go Russell.
Good call.
Josh T.
I'm just getting the predictor up.
Actually, I'm just going to go
my
for
tracker.
Hamilton instead because it looks like he has maybe some time to gain from what radios I've been hearing. So, possibly.
Oh.
Hopefully I've clicked the right one. Have I clicked the right one? No, I have not clicked the right
Well,
one.
whilst
It's the
Josh
other
T picks his pole, Josh B.
My pick of pole will be Lando Norris. I think Ferrari might bottle it.
So we had Sainz, Hamilton, Norris.
I think Ferrari might bottle it. I can't see them doing anything. Josh T's for
Okay,
some reason.
so
Why do you use a predictor?
I'm not. I'm noting them down.
Oh, right, okay.
So
Here we go.
What about you?
Jess was Science. I'm gonna be Science.
Okay.
Birches, Norris, Omi, Hamilton.
Here we go then. Lando Norris has started his lap in towards turn 1, 2 and 3. A little bit of a wiggle coming out of 2, but he's okay. He's got it pinned down. Now a 26.881 from Sainz to the first sector. Is Lando quicker by any means necessary as he comes down Raffles Boulevard? Sainz is up by a 1/10.5. Lando Norris, is he quicker in the first sector into the braking zone? No! Yes! Oh, it's so tight between them! They are literally separated by 30 thousandths. It's not that
It
much.
could go 21. It could go 21. Leclerc going faster.
And Leclerc's 0.02 of a second faster than Norris in that first sector. So the Ferrari and the McLarens are closing in together.
It could be. I think it's going to be the two Ferraris and Lando Norris for pole.
Magnussen goes fourth. So Magnussen stays in P4. And Lando into turn 13. Sainz is down in the middle sector, improving on his own time, but not the fastest we've seen. Lando could pick up some time here then, as the checkered flag comes out in 7 seconds. Lando is faster than Sainz in sector 2. Yeah, but he's...
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Not on
He's
the...
plus 4 down. Alonso is a fifth.
Checker flag is out. Is Carlos Sainz going to get pole position number 5 and 2 in a row? Enter the last corner. It's a 1:13.984. Fastest time this weekend, but Leclerc's faster. Lando across the line. He's second. 1:31.2. But look at Charles Leclerc. He's never been defeated by a teammate here in Singapore. His fastest second sector. He's 79 off. Ferrari 1-2. Russell middle sector. Russell's got the middle sector lined up. He's faster.
What about Hamilton? Let's see what he's looking like in the middle sector.
He's a 10th off.
10th down on Sainz.
Russell might get his second pole. Ocon goes into 6th position. Alonso has got
a bit squirmy.
Russell is the last driver to take anything from it out of the last 2 corners. Does he get pole position?
No, he's not going to do it.
He hasn't.
No.
72 thousandths down. It's a Ferrari on pole with Mercedes second. It's Carlos Sainz. No, he's 5th. Too far down. He was half a 10th off in the last sector and he remains half a 10th off.
Top 3 separating by less than a 10th.
That is insane. When Red Bull failed to turn up in Singapore, it's the Ferrari and Mercedes that claim the prize. Carlos Sainz, 2 pole positions in a row from Monza, the high speed, to the low speed, high downforce of Singapore. Sainz is unstoppable. He beats Leclerc at the first time here in Singapore. He's been defeated by a teammate. George Russell slots it into P2. Lando Norris starts 4th. Hamilton is 5th alongside Magnussen, Alonso, Ocon, Hülkenberg and Lawson.
Sainz radio.
And now, and 2 in a row. We have it. Yes. That was super close, yeah. But it's for us.
Amazing quali.
We have it. And now, and 2 in a row. We have it. Yes.
I called it. I called it at the beginning of the weekend. I called it.
Let's hear from Leclerc.
I did it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair dues.
I called it, Josh. I called it.
You got it spot on.
FP2.
Spot on, Jess. He's been on form all since practice 2. Ferrari topping every session. And there's more to come from this qualifying. The investigations infect both Ferraris, remember, for impeding, both Mercedes as well, Lando Norris. And guess who was the fastest out of the drivers who were not under investigation? Kevin Magnussen. And if they all do get penalties, then it will be Magnussen from Ocon, Hülkenberg, 1, 2, 3 on the grid. Anything can happen in Singapore.
Lawson's not investigated, is he?
No, so Lawson would go 4th.
Bloody hell.
Wow. Josh.
Yeah.
Hate to break this news to you, but you're 26 minutes in and you're already 1-0 down.
On what?
Football against Wrexham.
Oh, God. I just realised.
What is going on with sport today?
I've just realised who you were on about then. I was like, what are you on about? And it's like, oh, it's GTFC versus Wrexham. Damn. Well, Ryan Reynolds is there, so that's fine. There's Russell, P2. It stinks in this commentary box, like someone's put manure outside. Really strong smell. There's Sainz walking down the pit lane. You've got to do an interview though, mate. You can't stop it there, my friend. As he comes in, what a best qualifying of the year, I think we can all agree.
Yeah.
Of course.
Took us an extra 32 minutes, so, to get the finish, but wow. Wow, wow, wow.
The wait was worth it.
Sainz P1 from Russell Leclerc, Russell Leclerc Norris. Unbelievable quali. And the race tomorrow, 62 laps. Verstappen 11th, Perez 13th. Can Red Bull, as undoubtedly as it seems, can Red Bull take their 15th win in a row, or will they be stopped at 14? Ferrari.
If they could do it, it will be a really good one.
Ferrari stopped McLaren in 1988. They won the Italian Grand Prix when Senna and Prost both retired. Are we about to see a change in the guard? Toto Wolff walking down to Parc Fermé, just about remembers the route. He hasn't been there for a long time. As he comes down, let's hear then what the top three have to say in this dramatic qualifying. They're talking to IndyCar winner and NASCAR experience of Danica Patrick.
3 in qualifying. Let's head down to Parc Fermé.
Charles, great job, top 3, but obviously the times are so close. Explain just how hard it is to execute here where you're just threading the needle with walls all around.
Oh, it's extremely difficult as everywhere, but here probably even more so with the tire temps and the overheating throughout the lap. It's always a balance between the first and the last sector. Everything was super close. Mercedes was really strong today too. So it was an interesting qualifying. Unfortunately, I missed it just a little bit to gain few positions. But again, Carlos did a great job, 1-3 for the team tomorrow, and let's see what we can do.
What's the team morale? You guys have really come on. Obviously, it's been a challenging year. Just talk about that.
Yeah, the physical challenge tomorrow is going to be something for sure. It's extremely warm, extremely humid, but until now we've had a very good performance. Honestly, we did not expect to be so competitive on a track like this. So this is a good sign for the future, but let's see what we can do tomorrow.
You guys have struggled on the race, long runs. Do you think that that's going to be the case again tomorrow, and why do you think it might be different?
I don't know. I think we looked quite strong all weekend, so hopefully we won't see that tomorrow.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
It's hot out there, huh?
It's hot out there for sure. Got a sweat on.
And you guys spent a lot of time sitting in the car, so just talk about the chaos of the session, a red flag, all the traffic everywhere. It's a bit of a challenge here in Singapore. Just help us explain what that was like.
Yeah, it was definitely a challenging session. When you're sat in that car, it's like you're sat in the sauna, just sweating it out. But you got to keep your composure, stay cool. But no, really, really happy with this weekend as a whole. Felt really confident in the car. The team did a great job with the strategy. We're on an offset strategy compared to everybody else, so we've got an extra set of medium tyres tomorrow, which nobody around us has. So to get to Q3 and be on the front row with a strategic advantage tomorrow is an exciting place to be.
Well, traditionally only one stop, so you obviously have to have the right tires for the right situation, and then you have to pass. There's a new passing zone potentially. Do you feel like that's going to help you guys tomorrow? Because starting on the pole 8 out of 13 times has proved to be the winner.
Yeah, I mean, the track's different this year. The tyre degradation on Friday looked pretty bad, so I think it's going to be very close between a 1 and a 2 stop. You know, with our mediums, we can put Ferrari in a difficult position and try and force them into an error and get the upper hand. So that's what we're looking for.
All right, good luck.
Thank you so much.
Well done. Sitting on the pole, you guys, you're on a run. Just talk about how that feels. You guys have had a really trying year, and here you are sitting on the pole again. Got to feel really good.
Yeah, again, a bit like in Monza, really hitting the ground running from FP1 and feeling very confident all through the sessions and putting it together in Q3. Just focusing, not doing any mistakes in that lap, keeping it clean. That around here in Singapore normally it pays off, and it was a bit of a messy session for everyone, but we kept the focus, put a good lap in the end, and another pole position.
You've been happy with the balance since you said the first lap on track. Where is that coming from? What is it that you guys have done that has helped you be so happy from the start that's allowed you to sit here on the pole again?
Yeah, I think it's the story a bit of our year. You know, we have a very good car in certain tracks and in certain conditions, like one lap. And these sort of short apexes, quick changes of direction, our car seems to be very good. This weekend, again, a bit like in Monza, we know our weakness is always the race pace, and it's where we always pay the price. But I think the team has been doing a great job over the last couple of weekends to understand the package, understand the car. And I think we're definitely making a bit of progress, keeping in mind that this circuit has always suited Ferrari quite well.
How is the race pace?
Race pace, a bit of a question mark. It's not like in Friday you can learn much. But yeah, Mercedes normally is a bit quicker than us come race day. They have a bit of a different strategy with the tires that we will have to keep an eye on. But if I focus in my own race, put together a good first stint and a good stint on hards, then I think we can still target the win.
You have the opportunity here to dethrone Red Bull, and they've been on the top of the podium for so long now. How would that feel?
Yeah, that would feel amazing, and that's the target. I mean, try to get the win tomorrow. I'm going to give it everything like I gave it in Monza, and hopefully tomorrow is enough.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
An amazing qualifying here at the Singapore Grand Prix. Let's confirm to you how they finished, and this is provisional results, of course, because Max Verstappen's investigation, the first one, has been called for 11 p.m., which is in 25 minutes' time. Go on, Justin.
The second one at 11 local time, and
Yeah.
the third one at 11. So
Yeah, so-
Max Verstappen's going to have an interesting time in the stewards with 3 summons back to back.
They'll serve those in succession. So here's the results then provisionally. It's Sainz on pole, from Russell second, Leclerc goes third, Norris goes fourth, Hamilton is fifth, Magnussen 6th, Alonso 7th, Ocon is 8th, Hülkenberg 9th, Lawson rounds out the top 10, Verstappen 11th, Gasly 12th, Perez 13th, Albon 14th, Tsunoda 15th, Bottas 16th, Piastri 17th, Sargent 18th, Zhou 19th, and Stroll is in 20th position. Okay, a lot to talk about in that qualifying session as well, as Eric Nam, this other singer, presents the pole position a trophy to Carlos Sainz down there on the track. Jess, starting with you, you're on mute, just to let you know. Very interesting and dramatic session that we've had there, well worth it, but what on earth has happened to Red Bull? And specifically, what's happened to Max Verstappen in his mind? He's literally just switched back a couple of years.
I'm surprised. Yeah. I'm surprised because I thought him leading the championship by so much, he would have less pressure, but no. I was expecting them to make it into Q3, but I was not expecting them to be knocked out. That was, I think, the huge shock.
Yeah, and Josh T. Perez spinning again. That's another non-Q3 appearance this year. Before that, it was pretty much only Max Verstappen who hadn't got through. He'd always been in Q3. Now he hasn't got that run. So how much of a pressure is Perez going to feel? The fact that he also went out when it was his own mistake he went out. Max just had a bad car set up. What was that?
That was me. Just about Perez's spinning.
What do you reckon, Josh T?
Yeah, there's definitely going to be massive pressure there for Sergio Perez. He's, well, with how many penalties there are and summons for Max Verstappen, and if they do need a new gearbox, Max Verstappen could be starting at the back. He even could be starting from the pit lane. I think this is going to be the race where Red Bull are dethroned. It's all going to lie...
For one race only.
Yes, for one race only. For Sergio Perez, it's definitely going to be all on him to keep it if Verstappen gets all those penalties. But if it doesn't happen here, it's definitely going to happen in Las Vegas. And if it does happen here, will it happen in Las Vegas? I think so. I think we could have at least 2 races in the remainder of this season that Red Bull get dethroned, those being here at Singapore and Las Vegas.
Omi's been down in the pit lane, chilling out while we've been on cams throughout this one as well. So Ferrari on pole position, Omi, but it's not Leclerc. But come on, you've got to be feeling good for Carlos Sainz. He's on pole again, second in a row.
Oh, I don't really care now. I'm happy.
Oh, good.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. Yes, incredible though by Sainz, Russell, Leclerc, and all of them. But yeah, Red Bull struggling. We finally got to that point in the season where we can enjoy a whole weekend, and it's not an easy circuit to overtake as well. So it's going to be brilliant as well to see Verstappen sending some moves, possibly then rage on the radio about someone squeezing him and all sorts of chaos that is going to be taking place. But the Red Bull's always been good this season. The Red Bull's always the car has been good. So Verstappen hasn't really come under pressure too much. Now the car's been terrible. He's more under pressure. He's really pushing, and that's when those mistakes have started creaking in. Perez is making them all really throughout the season, but another big one that cost him, that was his own mistake. So yeah, gonna be an interesting race tomorrow. I don't think Red Bull's gonna win. It's so hard to overtake here last year, and I think with Verstappen and Perez, if they do try and make overtakes, there could be a point where they just bin it, or we see something like last year where Verstappen locks up and goes straight on into the runoff.
Yeah. And just quickly, this all, Lawson knocking out Verstappen in Q2. Blame Alex Albon for this, because it started like this. Albon gets appendicitis. De Vries replaces Albon in Monza. AlphaTauri signed De Vries for 2023. De Vries gets replaced by Ricciardo. Ricciardo breaks his hand. Lawson debuts with AlphaTauri. Lawson knocks Verstappen out in Q2.
Quite a comedy of errors, isn't it? That always leads back to the driver that they sacked first time around as well in that melee. So definitely is going to be entertaining. We'll give you all the information from the press conference as well, because the stewards are going to go long into the night here at Singapore. We're going to be here for a while trying to figure everything out. So we'll film something tonight. We will know by tonight our time. So we'll get something sorted together to explain it all to you tomorrow in the pre-race show. Just to give you the coverage details for this weekend, full rerun of the race will be on JB Motorsports' main YouTube channel as soon as the race concludes, like we have done with qualifying. The race tomorrow is live on JB Motorsports 2 on YouTube and Joshua Birch Motorsports on Twitch. So all the links will be on Twitter, or X now. It's at JB Motorsports X. We're also on Instagram at JB Motorsports IG. That's Instagram, and on TikTok at JB Motorsport as well. So you'll find all the information there from a very crazy day of qualifying. Okay, I'm not going to ask you for your pick of winners because everything could change. So I want your biggest surprise that could happen tomorrow, and I'll start with you, Jess. Oh,
muted.
Yeah, mute.
I was chatting to my mum. That was why I was on mute. I'm going to say Magnussen will finish P4 in tomorrow's race.
Oh, that's a good one. Josh T?
Verstappen DNF, and we will have a first-time winner.
First-time winner. Okay, so that puts the pressure on of Norris as well.
Which winner?
I got Norris, Magnussen, Hulkenberg.
Norris.
Okay, Norris.
Norris,
okay.
he said.
Okay, that's a big call. Omi, what about you?
I'm gonna go for Verstappen crash as well, and a few red flags tomorrow.
Okay, we'll get the footage ready.
That's not a surprise.
I'll get the footage ready. Could be here all night. Okay. Well, my thanks to Omi, my thanks to you, Josh, my thanks to you, Jess, as well, and all of you tuning in across the socials this weekend. Well, we didn't expect this when we started the broadcast. We thought it might be a Red Bull off weekend, but how the mighty have fallen, not even getting into qualifying 3 on their own mistakes. Max Verstappen is under investigation 3 times for impeding as well. Sergio Perez spinning, not making it through to qualifying. Half the field could change. Really has been another blast under the lights. What will we see tomorrow at the Singapore Grand Prix, the longest and toughest race on the calendar? Our transmission starts tomorrow at 12 o'clock British Summer Time, an hour earlier than normal. So lunchtime, come here, British Summer Time, we'll get you racing. Lights out is at 1 p.m. British Summer Time. Well, thanks to Jess, Josh and Omi. Well, thanks to you at home. Max Verstappen fumbles and for the first time this year makes a mistake. It is Ferrari who pick up the pieces. Carlos Sainz has been on form all weekend long. Can he go the distance tomorrow at the Singapore Grand Prix? Thanks for your company. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.